Yo, what's going on, guys? Welcome to a brand new series on the channel. I hope you guys are having a fantastic day today. I myself am ready to get started with this brand new game we have right here, Pokemon Red version. We are going back to the very first release in the entire series, Pokemon Red and Blue, well, specifically Red and Green in Japan. But today, we are going to be playing a really old game, and I'm really excited for it. Oh my gosh. I am kind of scared because last games we played came out around like 2010. This one came out in 1996. So that's pretty crazy. Let's jump into it though. I mean, hey, I'm ready for it. Let's go. But yeah, thank you for all your support on Pokemon White and Pokemon Soul Silver so far. Really great series, both of them. I love doing it so much. And this one will be quite interesting because, well, like I said, they came out very, very close to each other, those last two games, and they were from Generations 5 and 4. This is all the way back to Generation 1. Not a Gen 1 remake or anything, we were playing the OG game. And like you guys saw in the playthrough reveal that I did, it's pretty exciting because I didn't know if I wanted to do Generation 1 next. I wasn't sure which game was going to come next, but I decided Generation 1 because why not, and it sounded like a lot of fun. So yeah, we have a rival here, and of course, let me find a random name that we could name this person. I'm trying to think. Someone I dislike, someone who I would always want to beat at every chance I could possibly get, and someone who sucks at Pokemon. Oh yeah, Jay. Well, we'll go with Jay. But yeah, I'm playing on my Super Game Boy, which is an actual thing. It's an actual hardware thing. I'm not saying that, well, I may be playing on the real hardware, or it may be a nickname for something else. I'm not going to give you guys any hints, because I bet you have no clue what I'm playing on right now. Because I am currently looking down at my Game Boy. Oh my gosh, it's a Game Boy. That's crazy. Oh my gosh, why does my Game Boy look like that? It looks like such a modern control. Anyways, we are on our Super Game Boy, and yeah, I'm ready to get down with this, and it looks beautiful because we are playing on the Super Game Boy, and this game's actually in color. Normally it's in black and white. I was thinking about maybe doing a black and white playthrough, but I thought, well, not the games, I mean like the color scheme. I was thinking about maybe doing a monochrome playthrough, but then I thought that's so boring, and every time I've ever done that on the virtual console, I hate it. So I said I'm not doing that. Yeah, we're gonna go with this, and plus we're not gonna go with the all red and kind of green-ish color palette that like, I think if you play on the Game Boy Color, it looks like that. It looks really weird. I'm not the biggest fan of it, but I like it to be all color, so that's why we're going with that. Yeah, now we can pick our starter, and if you guys saw the video, you will actually see that Charmander is our starter that we got randomly, and I'm really excited for it. I mean, Charmander in Pokemon Red, it's pretty perfect. Almost as good as Squirtle in Pokemon Blue. So yeah, we're gonna give a nickname to this Charmander, and for this playthrough, I think my naming scheme is gonna be oh my gosh, this is hard. What am I gonna do? Let's do Star Wars characters. Let's go. I'll go with Luke for this first guy. Luke. That's good. That's good. Let's go with OG trilogy Star Wars characters. That'll be really exciting. And I can't wait for that. It'll be so much fun to get the whole squad. And yeah, Jay chose Squirtle, which is pretty iconic because Jay normally loves Squirtle, so he would definitely pick that starter in a heartbeat. Every time we've done playthroughs together, I always feel like he picks Squirtle immediately, and I'm like, man, which one do I want now? So, yeah, it's pretty normal to when I'm playing with him, so yeah. But his Squirtle is normally outstanding in battle, so I'm kind of worried for this. He's an amazing trainer, so I don't know if him being our rival is the best idea ever. Oh my gosh, that does like no damage. Wow, I think the Squirtle may beat us, actually. That's kind of interesting. Our first battle where we may already lose. That's crazy. Hopefully we can get an insane critical hit. But speaking of critical hits, there are a lot of things in Generation 1 that are bullcrap, and you guys will soon learn, and critical hits are one of them. I will start with this. In Generation 1, critical hits were determined by your speed. It's not just a flat 1 out of 16 chance. It is based on your Pokemon's speed, so if you're really slow, you will basically never get crits, and if you're super fast, you will get them about 25% of the time. So that's something to keep in mind when we're building our team, for sure. And I think I have a pretty decent team planned out, and you guys will like it. I try to be a little bit basic, but also try and mix things up like I always do, so yeah. It looks like Jay's gone, so see you later, alligator. And now we're off on our journey, kind of. We do need to pick something up for Professor Oak in Viridian City. Oh my gosh, saying that name is so weird. I'm so not used to saying the Kanto places and being in Kanto. So yeah. Breaking the fourth wall, I have not recorded the post-game of Soul Silver. I did it differently this time. With Pokemon White, I did all the post-games before I even started Soul Silver. And I feel like I want to do it a little bit mixed up this time, just to be sure, and just so I won't get bored of like one playthrough. Because recording, what, like, probably close to 15-ish hours of footage for Pokemon White than doing the post-game, which was like 7 more hours, right? So it's 20 plus. All at once, I was like, I don't want to do that, honestly, so I will do that soon. But anyways, I'm ranting because I wanted to say that we're also in the Kanto region in that game, so it'll be really interesting seeing these two playthroughs happening at once. Hopefully I won't get them mixed up or anything. I mean, I did play these two together as far apart as I possibly can in the generations. Well, kind of. We didn't go all the way to Gen 7, but still pretty close. Now we're in Viridian. It's really exciting. Oh my gosh, the old Pokemon centers. That's so cool. So a little bit about me in Generation 1. The first time I ever played the Generation 1 Pokemon games was on the Virtual Console, which was really exciting. Because I believe I played Gen 1 on Virtual Console, then I did Gen 2 on my Super Game Boy, and then once it came out on Virtual Console, I played it there too. But I think the first time I ever picked this game up was on the Virtual Console, which is insane to think about. And that was already, oh my gosh, like 7 years ago. I remember being so excited when they announced that, because after 2015, there was a little gap between the games, right? So X and Y came out in 2013, then ORAS in 2014, then 2015 everyone thought we were going to get like a Pokemon Z. Nothing, right? I don't know if we actually got any games. I'm trying to think. Pokken came out in 2016, right? And then let me think. What else? I know Pokemon Go and Sun and Moon obviously came out in 2016, so I don't think 2015 had anything. So after a whole year of a Pokemon drought with absolutely no games or anything, and still kind of playing ORAS, but getting sick of it for sure, they announced the Virtual Console games, and I was like, this is the coolest thing ever. So I bought Pokemon Red immediately, and I chose a Squirtle as my starter, and I played through with my Fire Red team, and it was so much fun. I remember being so confused about all the stuff, like, you know, my bag filling up quickly, or the movesets being awful, Pokemon getting swapped around the areas and stuff. It was really cool. I really loved playing it. It was so much fun. But now we're back, and I could not be happier to be here. Oh my gosh. Yeah, going back to Gen 1 was a good call for sure. Like, the more modern games, obviously, I love them, and they're fun. But if we were to step more modern, I feel like, I don't know. I feel like going back to these wouldn't be as special for me, because we're still in the 2D-ish era in my playthroughs, so yeah. Being able to play this old game is a blessing for sure. And this game came out, in Japan at least, 6 years before I was born. So, fun fact, this game is old as crap, so yeah, it's insane. Okay, we are gonna buy, oh, not just one, we're gonna buy like 5 Pokeballs, I'd say. Let's go ahead and do that. And, oh, no, I'm not done. And then, we'll buy 3 antidotes, that sounds good. And can we not buy potions yet? Oh my gosh, Gen 1 right there, that's insane. So yeah, we have our Charmander, and we're not going to get our first team member until a little bit, so I think we should just train this guy up as much as we can and maybe see if we can learn Ember. That'll be really good for us. Excuse me. I'm getting the nervous hiccups. I wonder why. I'm I'm so giddy to start this new thing. Like, I don't know if you guys could tell, but my legs are always just shaking back and forth. Not like up and down, just, you know, like the giddy shakes where I'm going back and forth. Especially when I start new episodes. It's so much fun. And I just, man, it's so great. And also, overall, Pokemon Soul Silver did really well, and I want to thank you guys for all the support that you showed. When I'm recording this, I think the most views we got in one video was like 40 views, which for me is like unheard of for a series like that. It was pretty insane. So I want to thank you guys if you came out and supported that series, and I want to thank you for checking out this series. Whether you come back or you're new, I really appreciate it. My name's Spencer, in case you don't know. Nice to meet you. My channel name is Spencer042 because when I was, I think, 11, I had come up with a username for PSN, and I came up with 042 because they were random numbers, and I thought that's cool, and the rest is history. I like to do a lot of Pokemon videos. That's my main thing. I also like doing other videos, which I have been focusing just on Pokemon for a while. I may bring in my other stuff into this. It'll be fun. Well, I would do games that require a capture card, but even though it's plugged into my computer, I'm actually kind of lazy to move the consoles around and stuff, because my setup isn't really optimized to have consoles on capture cards or anything like that, but I may work up the nerve to do it soon. I don't know, we'll see. But yeah. I really do hope to bring you guys the content that you'd like to see, and if you guys want to see me play any games or anything in particular, go ahead and throw them in the comments. I'd like to hear. It would be really cool. I'm down to play anything. Whether I played it before or not, I mean, I'm cool with it. I mostly do stick to games I've played before, probably because I like to seem like a bit of an expert when I'm playing these games, but I'd definitely be down to do some blind playthroughs. Like, I know we've been talking about Coliseum and XD for a little bit, but I've never played those games, and I would like to do blind playthroughs on the channel. That would be so much fun. I would love that. If you guys want to see that, let me know. I will put them in the recording schedule. That'll be fun. Now, we do actually have another route over here, Route 24, I believe it is. And this is where we can see some slightly higher level Pokemon. Nothing crazy or anything, but yeah. Let's see. Oh, Nidoran, that's amazing. I love Nidoran. Such a fun Pokemon. If you guys have never used a Nidoran in the Gen 1 games, go ahead and do it. Well, Fire Red Leaf Green too, but especially Gen 1, because that's just when your Nidoking or Nidoqueen just destroys everything. It's kind of insane. I love it. It's so much fun. I remember whenever... Okay, so I'm going to be probably more nostalgic with these games than Heart Gold Soul Silver, which is funny. I feel like I didn't talk about my team a lot in that playthrough. And same with Black and White, but mainly Heart Gold Soul Silver is one of my favorite teams I've ever done. I think I mentioned it what I did once, but that team's a lot of fun to do, because, you know, there's a lot of friendship evolution, so I really feel attached to my Pokemon towards the end, because I just, you know, keep leveling them up over and over again until they finally evolve. But with Pokemon Red, my normal playthrough is Blastoise, Nidoking, Jolteon, Alakazam, Arcanine, and Scyther, yeah. It used to be Snorlax, but I got so bored of Snorlax because he never did anything. So I just threw in Scyther for fun, and it's pretty fun to use, so... Yeah, and you can evolve it to Scizor later down the line, so that's always fun. I really love that. But I remember the first time when I was playing this game, I chose Squirtle, obviously, so... Brock was an easy sweep, and then I had a Nidoran on my team, and I think I didn't start leveling up till slightly before Mount Moon or anything. And I remember I got that Moonstone, and I evolved it into a Nidoran. Or Nidorino, sorry. I evolved my Nidoran into a Nidorino. And then I threw out that Moonstone onto it, and we learned Ember. Cool. Cool, cool, cool. Yeah, I threw on that Moonstone, and I said, that'll be fun. And so without really thinking, I just, you know, evolved it into a Nidoking, which normally I don't do, because it stilts the level up moves that you can do. And ever since that day, I have never waited to evolve my Nidorino. Always get a Nidoking immediately, because it learns Thrash, and it just destroys everything. Like Nugget, every time I think about Nugget Bridge, I specifically think about that Nidoking and how amazing it was against everything it came across. Because it's a 3-stager, and you get it before the second gym. It's kind of insane. It's crazy. That always blew my mind how good that Pokemon was. And actually, speaking of how good and bad Pokemon are, Charizard is an amazing Pokemon. I want to go ahead and say that. Amazing Pokemon. It wasn't built for the Kanto games whatsoever, and you guys will find that out very, very soon. I'm kind of glad to have the worst starter for the gyms and the first generation, rather than like Fire Leaf Green or something like that, because it's a lot easier to combat that in this generation. Movesets are way worse, and I feel like that comes to my advantage more than my hindrance, so I'm really thankful about that. But all that to say, Brock is good against us, Misty's good against us, and if we had a Charizard by the third gym, which maybe Lieutenant Surge would be good against us. So that's definitely something to keep in mind. And also, fun fact, in Generation 1, fire types do not resist ice, so our Charizard is weak to ice moves. So that's really sucks. That's terrible. So yeah, even though Luke is a legend, I don't want to discount his his stardom by anything, because I feel like I trash my Pokemon a lot. I should stop doing that so much, but Luke will struggle in this game quite a bit. So get ready for that. Let's hope that he's decent. We'll see, but yeah, I really hope he can pull through. I really do. We will see, though. We sure will. Because, man, if we die to Brock, I swear, I'm never recording again. This series is over if I die to Brock. Immediately. No more videos, it's just over. We are ending on episode whatever of Pokemon Red. That'll be so funny. Not funny. I will cry. It's not uncommon for people to get a Charmeleon before the first gym, so that may happen. You know, same with the other fire starters in Generations 3 and 4 in particular, where they get the fighting type, then they can beat the rock types. But sadly, Charmander doesn't have that luxury in this generation. We really do have to roll with our flying type, which is good, but it's definitely more of a hindrance than helpfulness in this game specifically, because Charizard can't learn any flying type moves. So, yeah. And yes, that's right. This is the game where Charizard cannot learn Fly. And that does suck. But there's not really a silver lining. I'm trying to think of one. It sucks, and that's it. We'll have to walk everywhere, which is fun. I do like walking everywhere. I try not to fly too much in these games. Then, of course, there are some times where you have to backtrack a ton. Like, Johto's full of backtracking. An insane amount. Like, the fact that, you can't get up to Blackthorn from New Barktown towards the end, because there are the hills there. If I went down there and had to go back up, I'd have to go basically through the entire region. It's so bad. So, yeah. I think this game will be a lot better for not really flying. I mean, we may just catch a whatever Pokemon and teach it fly. I don't know yet, but if we do, then we will use it. Probably not that often, but knowing me, I will find excuses to use it. You know, I'm like, oh, I want to go to Viridian City because I feel nostalgic or whatever. I mean, who cares, right? Who the heck cares? I don't. I really don't. I'm ranting so much. Welcome to Viridian Forest. I forgot to say, we are in this part of the game, which is really good for Charmander. This is definitely where he peaked, I would say. So, yeah, we can beat all these bugs basically in one shot with Ember, especially the wild ones. So, we're going to grind here a little bit. Okay, I think we're going to do Brock next episode. I'm going to go ahead and say that. We are doing Brock next episode. And speaking of episodes, this playthrough may be a lot shorter than my other playthroughs. I don't want to call it or anything, but I'd say around, if we get done in like, wow, this early we found a Pikachu? That's insane. We're not going to use Pikachu. sadly enough. I mean, it's a fun Pokemon, but it's not that amazing, so you're gone. But anyways, this playthrough may be done quickly, maybe done short, maybe done slowly. We'll have to wait and see. But Generation 1 comes with its caveats, so trying to learn those again probably will take some time for me. Oh, and it's so weird. We just did a remake, and now we're doing the OG game. Then later on, hint, hint, we may be doing Gold, Silver, and Gold and Silver and Fire Red Leaf Green. We'll see. We'll see. I don't know when that'll be, but I will say this. For the playthroughs, you should expect each game and its remake to be pretty dang spaced out. So if you guys don't see another Johto or Kanto playthrough for like 5 or 6 playthroughs, don't worry about it. We'll get here eventually. It's just, I don't know, it's just the way that it kind of works. I'm trying to space them out a little bit, I don't know. Just for fun. But I am enjoying jumping around a little bit. I know as a viewer it may be a little bit confusing. And I don't know, maybe it would make more sense to go in the chronological order. But for me, I really wanted to do them in whatever order because A, it's boring to do it in the regular order, and I already did that on my old channel. So I said, I'll just do whatever, you know, we'll just do whatever order. But more importantly, it's just fun. I mean, come on, it's a blast. Not going from like Generation 1 to 2 to 3, it just makes things more interesting, and it really shows how well I can adapt to these different generations, I guess, and how good my knowledge is of everything when it's so disconnected. Just think about it. We went from games with... Okay, here, I'm gonna list some things that are different in the original games. This is now a game with no running shoes. No running shoes. No physical special split. No dark steel types. What else is different? I mean, a ton, right? Like, I already mentioned the speed thing. Special is all one stat. There's a ton of glitches in this game. What else? Flippin', I don't know. I can't think of anything, but there's more, I promise. So, yeah, trying to adapt to all these new things. I mean, and what I just listed was heaps, you know? And there's the stuff that most people probably wouldn't think of, like the fact that it's just like Kanto Pokemon. So, trying to know exactly which ones to use against each other sounds easy, but sometimes you can get a little bit thrown off, especially with some of the move changes that happen here, like, obviously, Fire not resisting flying, and... Fire not resisting ice, and Blizzard doing 90 accuracy rather than 70, so... Just little things like that we'll have to keep in mind. So that'll make this playthrough a lot less static and a lot more fun and energetic, and I'm excited for that. So I feel like without knowing a lot of the nuance of Generation 1, it makes it kind of hard to play through, in a way that it doesn't make it more difficult, I guess, but I don't know, I feel like the intrigue just isn't there if you know everything that's wrong with these games. You know, like, unless you played it as a kid, then of course you have the nostalgia factor, and you will most likely say that these are the best games if this was your first one, right? That's like an actual thing. But if you came back to this game after it came out, probably like 2 or more generations after it came out, if you start in like Hoenn, Sinnoh, Unova, whatever, and you come back to these games and you don't know all that's different, I mean, not knowing would make it more interesting in many ways, but also trying to abuse the stuff that's wrong with this game is a lot more fun in my opinion, if that makes sense. Because rather than things be unintentional, it's just better when it's intentional, I think. And you can just kind of fiddle around with what you're doing, you know. So yeah, that's what I think about the game. I really do enjoy it though. The Generation 1 games are so fun. And there's no other series where I really like the older games as much as I do with this one. Because even though, like, for some series I'll prefer one game over the others, like, here's kind of a weird thing about me. I think that 3D World's my favorite Mario game. It just is. So, even though I like 3D World better than Odyssey, I won't go back and be like, man, 3D World's amazing, and all that stuff, compared to what I'll do with the Pokemon games, because I feel like my least favorite Pokemon game is still probably better than my favorite game that's not Pokemon. I don't know. I'm just kind of crazy like that. This is my entire childhood, by the way. I lost many chances to make friends and stuff like that to Pokemon, and I wouldn't have it any other way. Which sounds a little bit sad, and maybe it is a little bit, but if I... oh shoot. But for me personally, getting on a bit of a personal level, I think that balancing real life and this video game crap is pretty natural for me. I've been doing it for a while now. So just because I'll have daily uploads in these Pokemon series, and it'll seem like it's all I do, it's just 30 minutes a day at most for recording every day, so it's really not the biggest deal. And if you guys feel like you want to make a YouTube channel but you feel like you have no time, you still can do it. I mean, making 10-minute uncut videos, there's nothing wrong with that, and that's 10 minutes. That's like a shower there, you know? You just don't shower a day, then you can do a video. No, I'm kidding. But yeah, YouTube is a lot less work than people make it seem, because you don't want to be comparing yourself to content creators who spend hours upon hours editing and probably don't even edit themselves, probably have multiple editors for all their videos and just whole teams to make YouTube content. No, you're just a kid in your room recording videos, and that's what I am. So if you want to do YouTube and you don't feel confident to do it, I say just flip and go for it, you know? It's pretty easy, I'd say. Of course, getting in front of a camera and talking is pretty rough. This is 5 years of practice for me. So, and I have many other outlets where I end up talking to myself a lot, which sounds crazy, but I swear it's less crazy than it sounds. But talking and being in, well, if you want to be in front of a camera, that's also pretty tough. I'm pretty sure that my Pokemon playthroughs, my modern ones, were the first time I ever did facecam on this channel, which is weird. I did facecam on my other channel. I don't know, did I even show my face on here before then? I don't know, but if I didn't, then hey, this is me. How are you doing? I just like facecam a lot more. I don't know. Especially with the whole trend of people having a hard time focusing on something, I feel like just a Pokemon screen wouldn't be, you know, enough to focus on. So now you can hear me and see my mouth move, which is pretty cool. And hey, look, I'm looking at myself right now. That's so cool. I'm a little bit distracted. What's going on? No, I'm kidding. I'm here. I promise. But to make a long story short, if you guys... what a yawn. Jeez. If you guys want to make a YouTube channel, go for it. Have fun. Do stuff you love, you know? One form of content that I used to think was really weird, but now I respect a ton, is things like people on the floor reviewing their Bionicles, or like card collections, stuff like that. Where most people would probably be like, that's a little weird, but you'll find a very, very loyal niche audience, so... And I feel like normal Pokemon isn't really the biggest niche. I feel if I did this with, I don't know, the old Digimon games or something, I'd probably get a lot more attention. But Pokemon's my, like, favorite, so that's just what I do. So, I don't know. It would be fun to do more obscure games and see if I could get famous off of those. I don't know, that would be that sounds like a blast. Okay, level 14, that's actually kind of where I wanted to stop, but I think we'll keep going for a little bit. And yes, we are at a really high level, and I'm not trying to get super over-leveled compared to our competition. What I'm trying to do is make it a little bit more balanced against rock and ground types, which are just stronger than us, so. And yeah, I do think that getting Charizard in Gen 1's better than Fire Red Leaf Green, because I remember Geodude, I think it has like Rock Tomb or Rock Throw or something, it's really strong. And we'd be done. And even though you get Metal Claw in those games, it still would be pretty rough fighting Brock, so I'm thankful that we got Charmander here, for sure. Even though it comes with its flaws, it's still a really fun Pokemon that I adore, so. Oh, if you guys didn't see the reveal video, that's okay, you're here, so you don't really need to watch it, I guess, but, something that I talked about in that video was the fact that, well, I just mentioned it, I guess, Charmander used to be my least favorite Kanto starter. So I feel like now is a good time to tell this story. So as a kid, I always thought that Squirtle was the coolest, Bulbasaur was the second best, and Charmander was the worst. Because I loved water starters, also really liked grass starters. I never really picked fire starters. I don't know what it was, but genuinely, I never really had them on my teams. I don't know why. Earlier this year when I played the third versions, I chose fire starters for each of those because I really wanted to know what it was like to play with the fire starters, which I think I did in the past, but I don't know if I did it all the way through or anything. And now that I've done that, I will say they are pretty cool. I'd say out of all of them, my favorite one I used was Blaziken. Blaziken was amazing, and I just love that starter as it is already. Which is weird, because Gen 3 is my favorite pair of starters, and you think that I wouldn't love Blaziken as much as I do, but I don't think Blaziken's my least favorite, honestly. I think Sceptile may be my least favorite now, especially after that Emerald playthrough. Sheesh. Don't get me started. No, I'm kidding. But anyways, back to rounding it back up, right? So I always loved Squirtle, number 1. And Charmander was never my favorite. And so I get Pokemon X when I'm like 11 years old or something. I finally get it. It's 2013. I'm really, really hyped. And I picked Froakie as a starter, which just was before Greninja became one of the most popular starters of all time. So that's pretty cool. I just picked Froakie and I loved Greninja. Actually, okay, well, side note. Another playthrough I did, years later, I chose Greninja. I had 0 IVs and everything but defense, and I think I had like 8 IVs. And I was plus defense, I think minus special attack nature. I had probably the worst Greninja, probably worst starter I've ever seen in my life. It was terrible. I was like, how did I get those IVs? That's insane. But yeah, that was pretty bad. But anyways, so yeah, in Pokemon X, I had a Greninja on my team. Well, Froakie or Frogadier, whichever one. And I'm pretty sure I didn't have any other Pokemon on my team. I just had that one. And then I get to Lumiose City, and I meet up with Professor Sycamore, and I fight him. And at the end, he says, you can have one of these Kanto starters. One of the coolest things in any Pokemon game ever, can I just say. I adore it, right? It's so nice. So fun. I love this, right? So I'm looking at them. And my immediate thought was like, maybe Bulbasaur, but luckily, I want to thank my lucky stars for this. I was playing Pixelmon at the time. I was playing Pixelmon on a server, and I picked Bulbasaur as a starter. And so I thought, I already picked Squirtle in Pokemon Leaf Green when I got that game earlier that year. I said, I already picked him there, and I love him. Already picked Bulbasaur and Pixelmon, love him. Charmander's okay, I guess. I'll pick him in this game. I get a Charizard. I evolve it into Mega Charizard X. One of the most spectacular Pokemon I've ever used in my life. That thing shredded everything. Most insane starter I think I've ever had. It was crazy. Loved it, right? And after that, I'd say Charizard became my favorite. I was like, Charizard's my man, you know? This is my #1 pick for my favorite starter in Kanto. And then slowly over time, as I kind of expected, Squirtle did shoot up again, because, I mean, Squirtle was... It's a water starter, and I tend to love water starters a lot more than any others. Because don't I just look like a water starter type of guy? I mean, I think so. So, yeah, that's my story of Charizard. Since then, I don't think I've really used him a ton. I know in Galar I used his Gigantamax form quite a bit, especially before the DLC came out. I used that in Zacian for a lot of raid battles. That was fun. And yeah, ever since then, I've just been a big Charmander fan. Which is so funny, because I started out not really liking the guy at all. I said Charmander's overrated, I'm not the biggest fan. I thought Charizard's design wasn't amazing, especially in the old anime, because I was watching that at the time. And I was like, and of course he was a jerk to Ash, so maybe subconsciously that did, that did sway my opinion too. But yeah. And, oh yeah, I did Pixelmon, and in Heart Gold Soul Silver I chose Bulbasaur as my Kanto starter. So I don't know if the Pixelmon playthrough was happening at that time, but I can guarantee that I remember thinking I already have a Bulbasaur, so I'm good. Yeah, it was so much fun. I loved using that Charmander. That was a really fun team. I love, love, love it. Oh my gosh, with the Sylveon I had on my team, that thing was fun. Oh my word, that was so cool. I love Pokemon X and Y. I never really hated them. I always liked them more than Sun and Moon. And because I feel like my opinion on Pokemon games vary more than it should. But ever since I played Sun and Moon, that has always been below X and Y. Now, Ultra Sun and Moon, I don't know about that, but the OG Sun and Moon, I played it, and I didn't love Sun and Moon, which is weird, right? First time I ever played it, I kind of hated my team. What did I even have? It was bad. I think I had a Salamence that just wasn't that good for some reason. May have had bad IVs, I don't know. But it's just so much fun. And I love Pokemon X and Y, and I also love Sun and Moon, obviously. I did a playthrough, actually, late last year. I think it was like November or December, just randomly. I played Sun and Moon, and it was a lot of fun. I played it on a Super 3DS, which was a blast. Really loved it. Okay, now we're level 15. I wasn't really going for Leer, but that's cool. We learned that move. But yeah, I'm excited for this playthrough, and I hope you guys are excited as well, because this should be a really good one. I'm really excited. And next episode, I guess we're gonna fight Brock and defeat him. That's really cool. Oh my gosh, we're in. We're going. It's funny because with most things I do, I try and get it done just so it can be done, and then I can rest for a little bit. But with these Pokemon Let's Plays, I haven't felt burnt out at all. I mean, the only time I took a long break from recording was my week little vacation. Well, not really vacation, I don't know why I use that word, but whenever I was originally recording Pokemon... Oh, shoot. Not Escape Rope, what? When I was originally recording Pokemon White, I took like... I think like 7, 8-ish days off. It was kind of crazy. But since then, I've been recording basically every day, so yeah. Oh, no following Pokemon, so I can't do the thing anymore. That's so sad. With that, I want to thank you guys for watching Pokemon Red, and I hope you guys are excited for the rest of this playthrough. I know I am. And I will see you guys in the next episode. Have a great rest of your day, guys. Peace out.